Thanks for bearing with me.
Anytime.
You suck this time.
I did. We can never get it right. Welcome into Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast where we just got a few guys giving you our fantasy football tips, our advice. Hopefully it's getting you those wins. Week 9 almost. Chicago and Pittsburgh tonight. Regan, do you need a miracle on Monday night?
I don't. I need Deontay Johnson to get 10 points. And I need Najee Harris to just keep being rookie MVP.
Yeah. Think he will be. I really hope so too, because I need 64 points from those two guys plus Khalil Herbert on the same team. So, yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Hopefully you you have your wins already. You don't need that, and you weren't upset by the Jacksonville Jaguars version in your league. We'll get into that, but get ready for a breakdown of a very boring fantasy football weekend. Well, not boring. I can't say it was boring. It was just way too many upsets, Regan, and
It didn't make sense.
I'm still crying about it. It's bad. But yeah, I don't know. Who's more disappointing, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs or Candy Corn? Like, I don't know. Candy Corns looks like it would be good. That's not. Yeah. Even though you try it every year, you're just like, ugh, gross. Anyway.
Yeah. Josh Allen could be good next week. Candy Corn's still going to suck next week.
That's true. All right. Let us get into the Hurt Locker. We can watch us on YouTube. Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast, and find us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and Google. Sorry we are rushing through this. We might be rapid fire, but hey, we want to get our tips to you real fast and quick. Ryan's not here. You haven't heard, you haven't seen, so this whole entire episode will be tip drill. So, Hurt Locker, what do we have?
All right, so not too much. We had Zach Moss go down with a concussion. Lots of concussions this week, or at least concussion protocol. So Zach Moss, Damian Harris, and Ramondre Stevenson, all three of them are in concussion protocol today. And the biggest news is going to be Chase Edmonds, confirmed high ankle sprain. Usually the times table is about 3 to 4 weeks. So James Conner in and out. Thank you.
Damn. Yeah, remember when I said last week would be a perfect week to trade James Conner? I hope somebody got him and is reaping the benefits because, wow. James Conqueror, he is number one in points overall in the week. Yeah, so, well, thanks for that. We'll get into Haynes' briefs here. That is not what I meant to press, but
you leave him on your floor?
Yeah. They drop so hard they rattle and go through the floor into the basement. It's great. Haynes' briefs here. We got OBJ. He may not even be claimed, Regan. Can you believe that? I think the Patriots could use him.
Yeah, for $7.2 million, nobody wants him.
Yeah, nobody wants that baggage. Don't blame him. Deshaun Jackson, speaking of baggage, he was signed to the Raiders. Good move?
Not bad. They got a spot to fill. I think it's a good play on him. He's going to a place that has a void, and that's what he wanted in with the Rams, and he didn't get, so.
I'll run through these quick. Russell Wilson looked like he's making a comeback. Check your leagues. He's like mustard, but I found him a couple weeks ago. Somebody dropped him, so they'll have the Packers coming up. James Robinson looks like he'll be returning to a limited role, so keep an eye on that. John Brown signed to the Jaguars. John Brown who?
John Brown from Buffalo last year.
The wide receiver. Yeah. I know, it's just such a common name. It's like, who? Kyler Murray, Cliff Kingsbury, he said he's still not clear if he'll be ready to go for Week 10, so definitely have a backup plan. We have some QB options for you later at the end of this episode in our tip drill. And Saquon cleared to practice, so they have a bye week, so they'll roll him in easy. And I just made a trade on Sunday before kickoff. Eli Mitchell for Saquon Barkley, straight up. So hopefully pays off and works out for me.
That's awesome.
We'll see. Half-point PPR. So we'll see. With that, we're gonna get into the Week 9 wrap-up. I mean, Regan, it was Thursday night, but you have anything you want to talk about Thursday night? The New York Jets and Indy game.
Jonathan Taylor
Oh.
just continues to not get a lot of carries and do so much with them. It's amazing. I can't believe it.
No, he's a beast, man. Number 1 pick next year overall.
I'm picking Derrick Henry.
Ooh, okay. All right. I mean, I last time I said that, Derrick hurt, so stay healthy, Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, there's really nothing much to talk about the Jets besides one player we'll get into later. Minnesota Vikings 31 at the Baltimore Ravens 34 in overtime. This was a crazy game. Great comeback from Baltimore. It was fun to see. It was good to see Justin Jefferson bounce back. He got in the end zone. 3 receptions, 69 yards. Nice. Regan, I was watching the game, and I'm like, I could go for a no touchdown from Adam Thielen, but of course, he has to get in a touchdown. 6 yards and a touchdown. He saved your bet. It's still on track to beat me, so yeah.
Why, thank you, kind sir.
Yeah, he probably helped you out in your leagues too, getting that touchdown, salvaging his fantasy day. Kirk Cousins, why are you running the ball into the end zone? He's robbing Dalvin Cook of his touchdown. I mean, he ran for 110 yards and he can't get in the end zone. Come on.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not much to take away. It's really just who you start on this team. It's kind of Justin Jefferson, Thielen, Tyler Conklin. He's involved in their offense, which is surprising to me because they usually don't do that, but he might be worth a pickup. I think he got like 10 points. Ravens are good, man. Resilient team. They don't give up coming back from 2 scores. Lamar Jackson, I mentioned that he needs to get over 100 yards rushing, which he did. 120 passing, 3 passing touchdowns with 266 yards. Dude, is he going to be the MVP this year? He has Miami on Thursday.
Oh, my God.
He could put up 3 on the ground and 3 through the air on Miami.
He does.
So, yeah. He'll be QB1 on the week next week. Yeah, Marquise Brown, 9 for 116. Rashad Bateman, yeah, he was a little bit involved. Nothing. Devontae Freeman and Le'Veon Bell, they each got double-digit rushing attempts, but Freeman got a couple catches and a touchdown. So if you're wondering who should be the back you roll with, it's probably him. Look out for Latavius Murray, though, coming back. Yeah, anything else you want to touch on this game?
No, I would agree. Going forward, Devontae Freeman is the number 1. But yeah, Latavius Murray, we don't know. So you tread with caution.
Yeah, for sure. All right, what's the next matchup?
Next one, kind of a blowout that we didn't expect. Cleveland Browns 41, Cincinnati 16. What is going on? OBJ leaves. How convenient. Cleveland does well without him. How unusual. It also helped, having Nick Chubb back in full effect. The last week they didn't push him too hard. This week he had 137 yards, 2 touchdowns. Only on 14 carries, so they limited him a little bit.
Yeah,
and he had 2 catches for 26 yards.
That's the surprising part.
It really is, and to put it in perspective, like Jarvis Landry was the leading receiver with 3 catches for 11 yards. He was leading receiver, meaning by targets, not by yards, because he was the worst. Mm-hmm. Speaking of leading receiver in yard, Peoples-Jones had, what did he have? Last 3 games, he's had 6, 5, and this week he had 3 targets. Last 3 games, he's also had a touchdown in each. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, he had 2 last week, 1 this week. So averaging, 3 touchdowns. Yeah. Yes, it's insane. Minimal work, but he's like the boomer bust guy. So if you're looking for a big play and you're in a tight spot, I'd go with him. Nothing you can depend on at all, though. As for the Bengals, uh, Chase and Higgins both had recorded 6 catches. I think teams are probably going to start figuring out Chase and trying to limit his like big bust plays. So I think Joe Burrow is going to be leaning on Higgins a little bit more. Just because Chase is going to be double covered, Higgins is going to be the man open, and it's not like he's some little scrawny guy. He's a big dude.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he targeted Chase 13 times though, and only targeted Higgins 8. So, yeah, he loves throwing at Chase.
Oh yeah,
But I think you're right. Defenses are gonna finally game plan against. So,
yeah. And I'm not saying Chase is going to do bad. He's going to be
no,
awesome. I just think Higgins is going to get a little bit of an uptick. Like this week, he had 6 catches. Like I said, I do not recall the yardage. But in general, I think that's pretty common. That's what he's going to be averaging probably every week. So he's a good flex at PPR play. He's not going to get the touchdowns. He hasn't got a touchdown since week 2. So
who's that? Higgins you're talking about?
correct.
Yeah, he 6 for 8, 78 yards, and Chase
Yep,
was
70.
6 for 13, 49 yards. He did have a fumble, so that didn't help you. Yeah, yeah.
Surprising though.
Very surprising. I really thought the Bengals were going to get that game. Anything else on them?
Nope. I would expect moving forward Joe Burrow to bounce back. Was his worst week ever. So he's had consistent games. 3 games he's had 3 touchdowns in 3 games straight, and this week he had 0. So expect to turn
Yeah,
around.
true. I mean, they're going into a bye week too, so I think it's coming at the right time. They need it. Next game, Buffalo Bills 6, Jacksonville Jaguars 9. Just what we thought here. Jaguars pulling off a huge upset. Josh Allen finishes as QB 20, worst performance of the season with 264 yards and 2 interceptions. No one from this Buffalo team gets the end zone. All right, I'm reading Ryan's notes here, so apologize. I didn't pre-read these. Jaguars defense, however, um, they stepped up, man. Good for
So,
them.
wild.
Yeah, crazy. Trap game. It can't be that Jaguars are turning around. It's just an absolute trap game. But yeah, Diggs really disappointed. He was a wide receiver 18. Beasley was wide receiver 25. Oh, and Sanders wide receiver 30. Complete disaster for sure. But yeah, Jacksonville, Dan Arnold is the only one that reaches double digits PPR formats. Yeah, disappointing. I think I started Carlos Hyde because I had to, and he didn't do much either. But James Robinson's
Same.
coming back, so that'll be good.
Yeah, I think this game is simply done. We think
Yeah.
Buffalo's going to do better. Don't worry about them. There's no way they can lose to a team like Jacksonville every week. And then the Jags are also going to suck moving forward.
Yeah, let's hope so. Speaking of suck, Houston Texans 9 at Miami Dolphins 17. Absolute garbage football game. When the defensive score more than any player, you know it's a bad fantasy game to be involved in. And unfortunately, I had a lot of pieces in this game. Myles Gaskin, Waddle, Gesicki. And then the whole news of Tua being benched. He's gonna be the backup. So that really screwed people over.
Oh yeah.
I pivoted to Tyrod Taylor too because Kyler Murray was out and I didn't start Wentz back on Thursday night. I will play it safe this week. I will not do that again. I will make sure I have a backup. But yeah, I think that my biggest takeaway and the only one, Myles Gaskin, he got the majority of the backfield work. 20 carries versus Ahmed's 4 carries. Gaskin also was 6 for 6 for 23 yards. Jalen Waddle salvaged his game, 8 receptions, 83 yards. Gesicki, do style points count? He had some nice one-handed catches.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, 2.
Oh, did he?
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, all right. He's wanting to get paid. Contract year, and they won't extend him. I don't get it. But yeah, Brandon Cooks, mandatory handful of catches. Nothing exciting in this game at all. You didn't watch it, did you?
I made it a point not to watch this game, honestly.
How about the next one? Did you watch that one?
Also, actually, I did watch a little bit of this one.
I did watch a little
So,
bit too.
guys, Green Bay Packers 7, Kansas City Chiefs 13. I think we all predicted this when I say we all thought Kevin Love, I knew I was going to do that. Jordan Love would throw for more yards than Patrick Mahomes. And, A.J. Dillon would have more receptions than Aaron Jones. We definitely expected both of those definitely to happen.
Absolutely.
Mind blowing. But all jokes aside, Green Bay, they're going to look different next week. We can't really take anything away from this game. They had all the wide receivers back. Honestly, that's pretty much all I can say on Green Bay's side. It's going to be a totally different team. They should have never grabbed Jordan Love with that pick. They should have got Aaron Rodgers some skill or something, but he looked horrible. And then on the Chiefs side, Mahomes in particular, I'm really worried about him. As for, Mahomes had 166 passing yards with a touchdown, -2 rushing yards. Lovely. Not a good game again from Mahomes. Yes, Travis Kelce got a touchdown. Hill did okay. He didn't have a good game at all, but he got a couple of receptions. You really can't take much away from this game. He is struggling. Green Bay does have a decent defense. They are on the uptick. And I think the Chiefs kind of they don't have a crazy schedule going forward, but they got the Raiders twice. They got Dallas, who's kind of falling apart. And then they have Denver twice, too, after. And the Steelers. So I think those are the couple of games that they have left. So not the easiest schedule, if you ask me. Raiders are on the uptick in defense. So I'm really nervous about the Chiefs. Are we trading these guys? Are we getting rid of them? I think you're fine with Travis Kelce. Would you agree?
Yeah, not really. I'm struggling in one league, and I might have to trade him for some pieces. But they're not good. They're not good pieces either. Somebody wanted to trade like Waller and Tony Pollard or something. I'm just like, that's not enough for his name at all. But yeah, you're getting worried. But Mahomes is like ranked number 5th QB, depending on what league you're looking at. But the last 3 games have been very disappointing. So you going to trade him, you think? We still got a couple weeks until the deadline. Mahomes, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could, but I don't think you're like every other guy. You're not going to get what you want.
No.
For that, but the name you're going to get a little bit more than you should. I would think. It's just sketchy. Not a fan. I am nervous. I did hear that Patrick Mahomes' ranking in Madden went down 1 tick. I don't know if that's true, but I was like, that's true.
Oh, no. Trade now. Trade away
now.
Man,
the Madden curse hits hard.
Yeah. It does, man. Yeah, you know what? It does hit hard. This one. I can't believe this outcome happened. Atlanta Falcons 27, New Orleans Saints 25. I thought this was a smash play. The Saints were going to win, and Atlanta would be throwing to Kyle Pitts a lot. No. I mean, they did. 7 targets, but he only got 3 receptions for 67 yards. Tough coverage, man. And when I say, I should probably state this. I was thinking this. Like, people think we're not watching the games when we say we're not watching games. We watch highlights. I mean, we can't watch every game. We're watching Red Zone. Like, we do have lives, so apologies. We do our homework.
Oh, yeah.
Contrary to popular belief. But, but Kyle Pitts demanding that coverage, open up the field for, oh, man, I forget how to pronounce it, Alamid Zaccheaus.
Nailed it.
Yeah, Alamode Zaccheaus. He's going off for 20 points, man. 2 touchdowns off of 3 freaking receptions. You can't give up one of those. Come on, nobody started you. Get out of here. Dude, Mike Davis, he saw the same amount of carries as Patterson, but he's not making anything of them. He's a sit. I don't think I can drop him, but I'm not playing him. You're waiting for Patterson to get hurt. Like, you can't.
Right.
Like, I mean, that's very evil of you to be thinking that, but don't get hurt, Patterson. Keep doing work. It's great. But yeah, quarter, like 25% started for Mike Davis, so that didn't help you out. Hopefully Callaway did, though. He filled in on the bye week. He got into the end zone. So, all right, there's one guy who said, yeah, I mean, hopefully he gets in the end zone. He wasn't the most targeted receiver. Deontay Harris was, but he got in the end zone. Harris was 6 receptions for 52 yards. So, this offense is weird. I really think it's just Kamara and nobody until Taysom Hill takes over, which he probably won't.
No.
As long as they keep winning. If they keep winning, they'll be all right. This game was just a tough loss. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. They did have Taysom Hill come out in his usual packages, and he did look all right. So I think they're just gonna slowly work him back in.
Yep.
But Sean Payton, this is what he likes. He likes Simeon. Damn it, Simeon spreading his balls to multiple receivers. So they're spreading it out like 7 different pass catchers, then the running backs as well. So yeah, that's just my thinking. It's really Kamara and nobody unless you're absolutely desperate.
I would agree.
Yeah.
You're right with the whole Hill thing too. I think they'll easily work him. I think he eventually is going to be the starter. There's no way around it. They're a better team with him when he's full go.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. All right, so I'll take the next one. This is Ryan's little input. So on
Please.
Denver Broncos 30, Dallas Cowboys 16. Another Week 9 upset, which this is getting out of hand at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Denver dominated the Cowboys in all aspects. This isn't Ryan's words. Someone predicted Denver to cover, so I'm guessing this is him. He also might have predicted that Tim Patrick would have be a decent flex option. He did top all Denver's wide receivers with 4 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown, which I was very surprised about. Came in at wide receiver 10 on the week, as of right now. Jerry Jeudy came in with wide receiver 21, 6 receptions, 69 yards. Giggity.
Nice.
Gordon, and then Gordon lands at RB8 with 80 yards and a touchdown. And again, Javonte does well, if not better, than Gordon, but he doesn't get the touchdown with 111 yards. Doesn't get that end zone carry. It just seems to be the plan every single week. Gordon just gets that, and that's what they use him for. It sucks. If you grabbed him and you thought he was going to take advantage of it,
Oh no. Well, it looks like we might have lost Regan off of internet connections. I apologize for that. Something with the storm. But yeah, I was going to mention that Melvin Gordon, he's the number 15th running back right now. And he's an automatic start for me as an RB2. That's what you drafted him to be. I'm going to start Melvin Gordon. I'm not benching him anymore. If I need those just RB2, 17 and a half points, man. He gets into the end zone. He has a nose for. But yeah, I don't know if Javonte Williams will ever take over this year because it's the last year, and Melvin Gordon's deal with the team. So they might just use him and kind of save some mileage on Javonte Williams. I can hear you back, but I can't see you.
it's probably better for the viewers. Gotta love it. All right, let me get into the next one.
Please do.
While we're here, because I got to talk about my boys, the New England Patriots, 24, Carolina Panthers, a whopping 6 points. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wanted to say, this game worked out perfect for me. Pats won, looked great. Christian McCaffrey came back, didn't get hurt. They used him in a limited fashion, and he still got a total of 106 yards on 14 carries and 4 catches. And he just missed a touchdown, actually. Sam Darnold threw it to him, and it got batted down, but he didn't have anybody near him for 10, 15 yards.
I know.
Demolished the corner with one simple move.
He's so good.
Thank God. So good. I'm glad he didn't do it versus the Patriots, though. It was sucked. So, like I said, they used him about a 60% workload, which I predicted last week. Exactly what happened. He didn't go too crazy. Expect that to be ticked up every single week. He is their team. I do not see Sam Darnold going forward being the starter. So PJ Walker will probably be the one.
Uh, Sam Darnold just had an MRI on his shoulder, so
Shoulder.
yeah, he's not. I don't think there's gonna be a convenient excuse to not let him. But
Yeah.
McCaffrey there, 49% of snaps, and that's the kind of work he did. Imagine if he was
It's
doing 100% and he stayed healthy.
wild.
But yeah,
Wild.
that's the thing. Got to keep him healthy. I'm sorry.
Look,
Continue.
no, you're right though. Look good. Thank you for chiming in. Yeah, Sam Darnold did have that injury last week, and he seemed fine, but let's see what it really is. He did get walloped a couple times yesterday. So as for Carolina's pass game, there wasn't one. Simple enough. DJ Moore got demolished by a blindside hit from the corner. So keep an
That
eye on
was a
his
nice hit.
ribs. Yeah, it was a nice form hit. It wasn't illegal. That being said, he did come back in the game, so kudos to him for being a man and taking the hit and getting up. He did have a couple plays off, but keep an eye on that. Make sure he's going to play next week. He's still the leading receiver, only one you should be playing there, other than Christian McCaffrey for the most part. On the Patriots side, Hunter Henry had another touchdown. That's 5 touchdowns in 6 games. Almost had one the week
Jesus.
before, so he's killing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And the biggest surprise, I should say, or surprising, is Ramondre Stevenson. He went off. He looked like the best running back on the field at times. He led with 62 rushing yards on 10 carries, and added 2 catches for 44 yards, which was some bigger plays. Damian Harris ended up getting the touchdown from Stevenson. Stevenson literally brought them down the entire field, and they gave the ball to Harris. I felt
Yep.
so bad.
I needed that. I was like, oh no, oh no. Like,
Uh,
please, please. Harris
yeah,
needs it.
I did too, honestly. But
Did you?
I just
Yeah.
felt
Yes.
bad for Stevenson that he does all that work.
Yep.
And to finish it off, the biggest story of this entire game is Damian Harris and Stevenson both went on concussion protocol. They both left with head injuries, including Gunnar Olszewski. That means nothing to any fantasy player, but they had 3 people go down. So keep an eye on that. We'll get into it, but Brandon Bolden might be a nice pickup. We told you guys to pick him up last week, probably the week before too.
Yeah, I
He's
think
been
the week
getting the
before,
James
yeah.
White looks, but now he might be getting a little bit more work.
That's true. That is true. We'll get into our tip drill later with some waiver pickups, but little bonus, little tease for you. You know who's quite the tease? The Giants. I don't get it, man. It's
Hate 'em.
they all suck. I don't want anything to do with them. They're never gonna win, and then they go and win 23-16 against the Raiders. I switched my pick last minute from the Giants to the Raiders because I listened to the experts.
Should listen to ourselves more often.
I should
'Cause
because I
I
said
had the
I
Giants
don't.
the whole time and changed it.
I said it during our NFC breakdown or preview that I just don't think the Raiders, with everything going on, if their heads in the game, they're gonna play real safe. And I mean, it was good to see Waller back on track, 7 for 11 for 92 yards, so good for him. Hunter Renfro, good call by you. He got the lone touchdown on the day for them. I was thinking Derek Carr could be a good streaming option coming up, but I just don't know. Again, with everything happened with this team, I know he has Kansas City to face a couple times. He still has the 2 matchups. They're in the same division. I was looking back at his history. He did great against them last year, but the 2 seasons before that, he didn't break double-digit points against Kansas City. So I don't know if I want anything to do with him. I believe he did get hurt in one of them, but still. Josh Jacobs, 76 yards on the ground, 4 for 4 for 19 yards out of the backfield. And Ryan called this Kenyon Drake. Said he should still be a good start. 6 receptions, 70 yards. So I think he's a good flex play against Kansas City coming up. Now, the other side wasn't much to talk about except Devontae Booker. He has been valuable for your pickup that we all screamed to the wire for and spent some fab. And 99 yards. He couldn't get one more. But you get 3 receptions and 23 yards. But I think Barkley will be back after the bye week. If you have Barkley, hold on to him. Hold on to Booker, that is. You're going to need that handcuff. But if you can't trade him to the Barkley manager, you're going to have to cut him. I just don't see him getting enough work. and holding him in through the bye. So you could probably drop him. Evan Ingram, though, 3 weeks of 10-plus points. We may have to discuss him later. Do you want to do this one, or you want me to do it? Next matchup.
Well, I'll read it.
All right. Okay. You go right ahead. L.A. Chargers.
I'll do the Chargers.
27.
You do the Eagle part.
Oh, okay. There we go.
There we go. All right, so
I'll say the score. L.A. Chargers 27, Philadelphia Eagles 24. Go.
So as Ryan again, he predicted the Chargers to win and for them to cover.
Oh my God.
Mr. Pat's on back. Jeez.
How did he do on the picks in our pool?
I'm gonna look at that.
Go ahead. I'm gonna check.
I love how he wrote this. So guys, he wrote this for us. Mr. Tagless calls Donald Parham as a decent but risky. Yeah, decent but risky streaming option for the week against a defense that has allowed the most touchdowns to tight ends possible. Tight end position. He had 3 receptions, 39 yards, and a touchdown. On the Chargers side, also Keenan Allen finished as wide receiver 3, which I'm very surprised about. He had 12 receptions for 104 yards, no touchdowns as usual. That part sucks. But Darnold Parham, good call, Mr. Tagless.
Mm-hmm.
Ballsy.
Yeah, hopefully you guys grabbed him in your dynasty leagues back when we mentioned in our previews, divisional previews back in the summer. But yeah, they're gonna get him involved more. And Ryan is tied with me in Pick'em, so don't be bragging too much there, man, because I did not do that well. Too many upsets. Too many upsets happen.
All the upsets.
All the upsets. And lots of hurts, too. Lots of hurting. Jalen Hurts, man. He wasn't super impressive again, as Ryan predicted. Just barely making the QB1, but it's just a bad QB week, so that makes sense. Devontae Smith, man, we mentioned we got to bench him until we see something. Now we see something. 20 points, 20-plus points, 5 catches, 116 yards, and a touchdown. It's too inconsistent. I think we got to wait on him still. I don't know. We'll have to get into it in our matchups, our starts and sits episode. But did you play him or did you end up benching him?
I did play him. I have so much faith in him, but I can't help it. I just see, like, you see a game like this, you see what talent he has if he just gets the ball.
And it makes sense because the Chargers were losing a couple DBs to injury last week, and they were hurting in that department. But next he has Denver and then New Orleans. But then after that, it's Giants and Jets and a bye, Washington, Giants, and Washington. Oh. So that's juicy, man. In divisional games, they have to score. So I don't know. We'll have to check on that. Might be.
Jordan Howard, we got to look into. This guy is getting
Jordan Howard. He's getting it. Teams got to use him, right? I don't know why they didn't use Miles Sanders as much as they're using Jordan Howard, but hey,
makes no sense.
It doesn't.
Right.
Your connection's a little funky, but we'll see how it goes. What's the next matchup here?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Arizona Cardinals, 31. San Fran, 17.
Ugh.
So, guys, no Kyler, no Hopkins, no Green, eventually no Chase Edmonds. No problem, apparently. Mm-hmm. That's probably because they had James Conner. My boy is finally broken out, 21 carries for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 5 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown. With Chase Edmonds needing to take a few weeks off, so like we said, 3 to 4. Automatic start going forward, and look for them to split it a little bit more once Chase comes back. If James Conner can really make a name for himself and they can start relying on him a little bit more, I can see a little bit more of a split. Not that James Conner hasn't been getting all the touchdowns anyways. He actually leads the league in rushing touchdowns and is now ranked, I believe, 8th running back overall.
Yeah.
Obviously, this past week definitely skewed it a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. really nothing else to say on the Cardinals. It was really just James Conner. So let's keep an eye on Kyle Murray coming back and Hopkins. That is a little bit nerve-wracking when you brought up the news about Kyler not sure being ready for Week 10.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, James Conner's still an automatic start. On the San Fran side, George Kittle came back, guys. Pretty pumped for him.
You know, I mentioned this. I did a quick Sunday morning episode talking about our technical difficulties, and looks like we're gotta do another one.
Oh
But
no.
uh, Kittle, I was like, he's gonna be on a snap count. Like it's just he's gonna have limited work, and I don't trust Kyle Shanahan, and I don't trust the 49ers beat writers. I'm like, I didn't know what to do. I had to pivot to Pat Fryermuth going tonight, so hopefully Pat Fryermuth does better than him, and I'll be right. But
Ouch.
yeah, what a day to see him out there, huh? Good for him.
Yeah, six catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Ouch. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it's there.
Another surprise was Brandon Ayuk actually doing something for once. He had a touchdown, 6 catches, 89 yards. I did have a fumble, which kind of sucked. Debo still had 5 catches for 63. Uh, Not as big of an outing as we've been getting every single week. But are we nervous at all about George Kittle and his takeaway big plays from Debo at all?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Once
Yeah,
they're
you
all
are.
three out there, it's not good for one of them. So I did start Ayuk because I thought Kittle wasn't going to be a factor, and turned out he did all right. But
Yeah,
yeah, Debo, he's probably a. We'll have to talk about it next time. A trade candidate for me.
I would. I am a definitely anybody on San Fran. I am automatic to trade. The team is good, but they're so unpredictable. So trade away everybody on San Fran.
I
All right, let's
gotcha.
keep it moving. I got about 8 minutes. Let's do
Nice.
work.
Tennessee Titans, 28. LA Rams, 16. They're both
Oh,
7-2, man. Like, can we see a Super Bowl matchup preview right here? This is crazy.
I hope this isn't
Um,
the Super Bowl. It sucked.
it was great defense, but not good for fantasy. Tennessee Titans defense scored 16 points, and Ryan Tannehill scored 17. So everybody else was less than that. Adrian Peterson, he got the 10 carries. He did get into the end zone, so he just punched his way in there. Smacked people on the ass afterwards, celebrated a little too hard. Some reports out there it was a little bit too much.
I hate
uh,
you.
I'm sure some are still bruised after that. Um, but yeah, Cooper Cup, 20 points, good for him. 11 receptions, 95 yards, and Robert Woods, uh, 7 for 10, 98 yards. Good for him. But your boy Matt Stafford, only 17. Yeah, he threw a pick six. That really hurt them.
Oh
It was
yeah.
a fun game to watch. I don't care. It was still good. Higby, 10 points. So finally getting to double digits. You know, he's like top five in red zone targets or 10-yard line in. So green zone, as they're calling it nowadays. And he almost had it. He was just literally an inch out of bounds
Toe.
and wasn't able to get it. So, uh, yeah, nothing really too exciting except Titans doing work. I didn't think they had it in them, so good for them.
Yeah, me
Anything
either.
you want to say on this, or
Yeah, just a couple things. So a lot of cups catches came pretty much at garbage time. Woods
mm-hmm.
was actually the leading
Still count?
receiver beforehand. And AP's touchdown pretty much just came at last minute to just jab a spear into the Rams fans. So I felt like that really didn't mean much to me. So I'm a little nervous on owning a running back in the backfield for the Titans. The Rams are a great defensive line though, so
Yeah,
maybe that has something to do with it. So I'd like to see next week before I dropped anybody.
yeah. I mean, that a couple of linemen pushed AP in, but
Oh yeah,
yeah, it was good. I guess if you started him, I did not. I wanted to wait and see. All right. With that, let's get to our tip drill, shall we?
oh yeah.
All right, reminder, bye weeks. We got Chicago Bears, Cincinnati Bengals, New York Giants, and the Houston Texans will be on bye for week 10. So a couple quarterbacks here. Carson Wentz, 60% rostered. Only one game this season under 20 points. And he has Jacksonville, Buffalo, Tampa Bay, and Houston the next 4 weeks, and then a bye week. He's probably who I'm going to roll with for a while. I'm in one league where I'm streaming quarterbacks, and it's working out all right. Taylor Heineke coming back from his bye. He has Tampa Bay, 9% rostered. And if you're really desperate, Jimmy G. 2 games in a row with over 20 points. But they have the Rams, so I really don't want them. But
check, please.
Yeah, so I'd probably go Heineke. You got any quarterbacks, or you want to roll into the running backs?
No, I agree with Heineke though. I like that. The fact that Carson Wentz is only 60% owned though, I think that should be way up.
Yeah, agreed. Only one game under. I think he's at quarterback 11 right now, but under 20 points. So good for him. Who we got for running backs?
Yeah, we got Brandon Bolden and J.J. Taylor. I don't have the number on J.J. Taylor. It should be 0. But if both running backs are out, meaning Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson, Brandon Bolden's a great grab at 8% owned. He could be the RB1 next week. He had 8 carries at the end of the game because everybody was out, and he is the great receiver out of the backfield.
Yeah, and J.J. Taylor, 0% rostered.
Thank goodness. All right, guys, you guys do listen. Yeah. If you're desperate, he might be a good grab, maybe a DFS play, depending on if both those guys are out. Another one I had was Devin Singletary. Obviously, he's 58% owned, probably a little bit harder to find, but he might be out there. If Moss is out next week, definitely a grab and play.
Yeah, for sure. Le'Veon Bell for the Ravens, not much to say except he's playing Miami Thursday night. So you're dependent on Moss, or you're going to lose a Chicago running back or Joe Mixon, and you got to take him. Go ahead and grab him. Look for him to get some red zone touches. And Eno Benjamin, from Arizona. Another 0% roster guy. But with Edmonds out, he had 9 points, so he's worth a late pickup. I would wait until waivers clear to pick him up, so we'll see what happens with him.
I like that one.
Yeah, you got any other running backs or?
Not really. I just pay attention to a couple guys like Montgomery. If he doesn't play this week, he's supposed to play tonight.
He is. He is going to play.
See how that goes. But a couple of these guys, James Robinson, stuff like that. So pay attention to those. Hyde and Herbert could be out there. So.
For sure. Wide receivers, real quick. Van Jefferson for the Rams. He got targeted multiple times, especially in the red zone. If people are going to lock down Kupp and Woods, good luck trying that. But Van Jefferson might be worth a pickup stash. Will Fuller coming off the IR soon. Probably won't this week, Thursday night, but we'll see. Just to keep an eye on him.
Stash.
I was going to say, pick him up, put him in your IR slot. Elijah Moore for the Jets, 27% rostered. He did awesome. I'm not chasing the points, but there's a lot of potential there. I'm not going to start him, but this guy I would start. Tim Patrick, 25% rostered. What was my point I wanted to bring up? Who are they facing? If you could look up for me, who are the Denver Broncos facing next week? Diamond Peoples-Jones for Cleveland. I would again wait till waivers clear, but he can fill in on a bye week. Filler for you. And your note here, Michael Gallup, 49%. Expected to be a full participant in practice on Wednesday.
Yeah, they're playing the Eagles.
They're playing the Eagles, so that's what I was going to say. Darius Slay will be all over Courtland Sutherland and or Jerry Jeudy, one of those guys. So look for Tim Patrick to be open. Unless they just run the ball all over him. But that seems to be what happens. And Jerry Jeudy looked okay against Dallas, man. He looks pretty good. Any other wide receivers? I mentioned Michael Gallup for you. But
I think we're good, yeah. Not good
yeah.
call.
It's really not that much of a waiver pickup week.
Everything being so weird this week, there really wasn't much.
Yeah. Ryan wrote down Albert Owekwa. Yeah, that
Yeah,
I did not glitch there. Yeah, if Fant is out, but Albert O, he did have a knee injury again this game, so be careful of that. And then Logan Thomas coming back from the bye in IR, 53% rostered, worth a stash, worth to pick up and see because they heavily involve their tight ends there. So look for him. You got any tight ends?
Yeah, great call, Logan Thomas. That's actually real smart. Dawson Knox is kind of another one that kind of falls in the same category. He's been out for a couple weeks. Some people have dropped him. I've seen him. He is 61% owned because that's probably just because people put it in his IR spot. But if they didn't have an IR spot in your league, or if somebody just got dropped him, he should be practicing this Wednesday. So grab him and wait.
Right
Definitely
on, man.
Using Tampa, they need him.
Yeah. Speaking of Tampa defense, check to see. Good note from you. They're coming off their bye. Somebody might have had to drop them, so look for them. And then the Titans, I guess now are a good defense. I'm not so sure. But they got New Orleans, Houston, then New England before their bye week, so maybe worth picking up. They've been scoring points, man. Surprisingly.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I definitely play him versus Houston.
I would definitely play him against Houston as well. If you made it to this point in the episode, we appreciate it. If you could like and subscribe and follow our channels, our audio platforms on Apple, Spotify, Google, and Amazon, and our YouTube at Just a Tip at Fantasy Football Podcast. And you can follow our socials at Just a Tip FFP. Be much appreciated. Good luck on this Monday night. Regan, thank you very much for powering through. Me showing up late.
Yeah, my technical difficulties, my bad.
Some freaking internet problems, man.
Dude, I swear
can't
there's
wait.
still like trees leaning on wires outside my house or something.
There is. That's Rehoboth for you. Oh, I gotta edit that out. Just so people where you live.
Try to find me.
You won't
Sounds
be able
huge.
to. You get in there and you won't be able to get back out.
So true.
You'll get lost. GPS doesn't work. Hence our technical difficulties. Good night.